can't come up till you get there.
Okay.
Bishop,
Sit right here and be in my.
use that cup.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
All right, Bob makes a motion to come out of executive, and Daniel seconds it. Let the record reflect that no actions or votes or promises or whatever were made. We are now out of executive and back in our meeting.
All right, Mr. President, I got one item for additional business, if that's all right. I'd like to make a motion to amend the current budget for the county prosecutor's salary and additional people he has to make the county prosecutor's salary to $90,000 in concurrent with the elected officials that go along, state elected officials that are set at $90,000 by statute. A large variety of state elected officials are set at that number, and I think it's fair and compensated that he be compensated that amount. So $90,000 for the full-time county prosecutor. Also agree in my also put in my motion for 2 part-time county prosecutors at a salary of $35,000 each, not to exceed 20 hours per week, and then the annual salary of the secretary for the county prosecutor at $12,000 a year, $1,000 a month. So recapping it, $90,000 salary for the county prosecutor, $35,000 for 2 part-time county prosecutors each, not to exceed 20 hours. And the county prosecutor's salary set at the salary of $90,000. So
in conjunction with the state.
yeah, in conjunction with the state elected officials that are set, for example, state auditor's office, secretary of state's office, insurance commissioner's office, those set salaries at $90,000. So to match that, that'll be my motion.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Daniel.
Bob second.
I don't think I need to go back through it again. Bob seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Great.
Mr.
was to
President,
add
that's an add,
and
and
then-
if I may,
then I'll-
we also want the motion to reflect that the county administrator will appropriately amend the budget to reflect the board's action.
Right. So that'll be the motion coming up with the same clarity as the last one.
Second.
All right, Daniel makes the motion. The first one was to add it. Now we are looking at this motion, and Daniel makes the motion. Bob seconds the motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Mr. President, I believe that Mr. Shirley would like to address the board. I don't know if the board is ready to entertain any kind of questions or comments at this point, but if it's the board's pleasure, he would like to speak.
I'll read it back as good as I can. Daniel made a motion to set the salary at $90,000, which is, Daniel has explained where he come from with that. 2 part-time, you've got one, you add another one. $35,000 each, not to exceed more than 20 hours a week. And your secretary, that's already, I mean, same thing on that, where it's already there.
The assistants are on PERS, correct?
No, no fringe benefits
No.
on those.
That's for part-time.
Hours per week.
It will be difficult to do that because we have the prosecutors can't practice criminal defense, and they're giving up criminal defense in Rankin County Justice Court so if they don't have the PERS system. The current prosecutor there, the assistant prosecutors are on the PERS system, and it just makes it difficult to get in.
They are?
Yeah, they're over 20 hours. I think the current ones.
Were they over 20 hours?
They work over 20 hours.
Yeah,
They're over 20 hours.
right.
Well, that's why I'm just saying.
I agree with Mr. Shirley. If they can't practice law, then how?
They can't practice any criminal defense, that's what a lot of them do. For example, I talked to one, he'd be willing to do it, but, he was asking, obviously, for more than $35,000, he was asking for PERS, but, I have to talk to that.
The last time this officer, making somebody's job, they pay part, we pay part. I mean, is that on a part-time person? Are we doing that with somebody? As far as PERS?
I think
Oh,
we made
we
it consistent with all of our part-time people that once they.
I thought we did with somebody.
All part-time people that are under 20 hours a week week are not on PERS unless they are covered at another agency. Then we are obligated to cover them in PERS, no matter what hours they work.
You talking about state agency?
Yes, if they're,
Or-
if they're
or-
under another PERS covered agency.
And that's not just state though, that could be city.
Right, it'd be
Okay.
several different.
Whatever, who's ever participating in the.
That's right. If you're in
Time
PERS
system.
already.
What's the difference? You just have one then full-time.
What's it, it's
You're not
addition,
paying
it's more,
more
it's
your
more,
benefits, but-
more
I mean,
additional
I'm just
costs.
saying, how's it gonna balance out?
You balance out.
Full-time, that's why I asked for full-time. That person would be here Monday through Friday, every day was 500, Monday through Friday. Available on weekends, I guess, if somebody wants to get it.
What kind of salary are you talking about for a full-time?
It's at
I
80.
asked for 79, but even if we went with the 35.
70 plus PERS, 70 plus benefits. Does the guy that's there now, is that who you're thinking of?
You think you can
We-
find somebody qualified to do full-time at that price?
At 70,
Yes, sir.
probably, yes. Yeah, if I had a discussion with somebody, yes.
It-
Maybe I would prefer more than that, but I believe I can get somebody for 70 per.
What are we gonna do with the man that's there now?
What-
I'm sorry, say again?
What would we do with the part-time guy that's there? You would just release him?
Go home.
Yeah, they would be an assistant county prosecutor.
Okay.
I understand Paul's going to work with the sheriff.
Yeah,
That's my
right.
position. And I don't want Mr. Bowman, nothing negative, but I don't want Mr. Bowman. I don't want-
What's the additional cost of the PERS and insurance and that kind of stuff like that?
Well, PERS, the county will pay 17.40.
All right, so the total cost of that package.
And the fringes are
Yep.
gonna be in the neighborhood of 9,500 a year,
Okay, so
the county's part.
we're looking at 15,000.
I
She's
think
doing the
I
math.
think it's 720, yeah, 0.40 on 70.
Yeah.
So you're looking over $10,000.
So 13,000 basically to do that. So,
That's the two, if you keep the two, it'd be 13,000 each.
No.
no, you're talking about
It's
just
You're now you're going back to one.
13,000. The fringe
To the one.
benefits is about
Right,
$13,000.
for one.
And I think if we're considering PERS and benefits, we're better off with one full-time.
Me too. What are you,
Yeah, I just
what were you gonna say, Craig?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds here, and I'm doing my own math. I've got a $70,000 salary is gonna be 11.9 PERS impact out of the county.
that's right.
17.4%.
On top of the 9,000 that we pay on health insurance.
Yes, sir. So you're looking at
20 grand,
20
right?
grand
20 grand
on
on
a
top of-
$70,000 position, okay? So there's a very
Here's-
real reason why Daniel's motion would have been to limit this to a part-time position of mandated 20 hours or less. Is because the PERS impact of this to the county cost is very real, it's significant. So,
And Mr. Schroeder, I'd like to ask this here. Is take us down this road of the two part-time guys at 35,000 with no fringe at $20,000. And if you get into a position to say we're in March or April and you can't find or fill those spots, come back to us and let us look at it at that point. And it could be something we can look at on the budget adjustments for next year.
yes, no conversations have been had, or whatever conversations have been had have been very preliminary and without any specific authorization, because the board hasn't done anything more than assign a salary for the elected county prosecutor and authorize one part-time position and a secretarial position. Those are the things that have happened here. So there couldn't have been any discussions about full-time salaries and PERS and all that other, because there's been no authority for it up to this point. Now that Mr. Shirley is aware of what the board's position is, at least from a budget standpoint, he needs to go and try to fill those positions as authorized. And if he's successful, good. If he's not successful,
Come back to the board.
come back to the board. These are simply budget discussions that the board is trying to get hammered out.
Yep.
So I think the motion was up the already amended
'Cause it
county
was-
prosecutor salary from 70 to 90.
Correct.
And the purpose behind that, as stated by Daniel, and I want to clarify for the board, is that we've got statewide elected officials, like our state auditor whose salaries are set by statute, and they are limited at $90,000.
Correct.
And so that is a number that you can find statutory guidance on, and statewide elected officials are being paid that amount of money. So that seems more than fair that you would pay your full-time county prosecutor no more than you pay your state auditor. All right, so there's that. That's $90,000. And then 2 part-time positions limited to 20 hours per week, which is, by the way, that's 40 hours of work product among the two.
And on top of that, we were at 32,000
32.
for the county part-time guys. So we bumped that up $3,500.
35.
Yep.
That's right. So a total of 35,000 as a salary component, but limited to no more than 20 hours per week. And that's to keep us out of the PERS system on those guys. They won't be eligible for county benefits. So if he can fill those positions with part-timers, and just to nuance this, it's not that those persons who would fill those positions can't practice law. It's that they can't practice criminal defense in front of the justice court. It's a different dynamic.
In
This
Rankin
justice
County,
court
right?
or
In
what
Rankin
about
County.
Madison?
In Rankin County. Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So there would be an impact on their practice to the extent that they conduct significant justice court criminal defense work. But there's a lot more involved in practicing law than just that sliver of law practice.
I think the motion we had is passed and good, and we can come back and re-look at it in March.
Yeah, y'all did act on that.
Yeah, we've already acted on it, so.
Right.
Can I
Very
ask
good.
one question, is the 12 for the secretary, that's obviously not hers, they just get $1,000?
Right, Ms. Laura, that's the same thing we were doing, right? It's the same thing that's going on now with that.
No, well, she was full-time.
30-something thousand a year.
Yeah.
It was, at budget time, it was put in. as-
Actually,
Part-time.
if I can add this, I would encourage Mr. Shirley to look at the statute that addresses all of this, to look at that carefully, because I think the statutory language is actually structured so that it is a reimbursement to the Office of County Prosecutor for the secretarial expense. I think I'm right about
Well,
that.
and then on the same
It's-
side of that, looking at Mr. Shirley's request, he wasn't even asking for a secretary. So there was no.
Correct.
That's a $12,000 increase onto a line item that wasn't even there, so.
I was asking for that if you gave me the full-time prosecutor.
Right.
Yeah, so I,
Then he and I would do our own secretarial.
Okay. All right.
and it may be that Mr. Shirley wants to go back and revisit that issue, and if he can get guys or ladies who want to be assistant county prosecutors, if he can get them to commit to something, maybe there's a way that he can structure his office in such a way that they provide both the assistant county prosecutor responsibility and some portion of secretarial function. And so your responsibility would simply be to remit not more than $1,000 per month for secretarial work. I believe the statute will allow
Okay.
him to structure that way.
All right, Mr. President?
When I see somebody that I want, they're gonna try it out, process, do I have to go through? Because I got cases coming up January, what do I do about getting someone? So it doesn't have, they don't have to come through and get approved.
It'll go through on the docket agenda under a personnel recommendation. Just need to communicate back to Ms. Laura who it is that you want to utilize.
Or Ms. Wanda?
Or
Or Ms. Laura.
Yep.
If, in the future, I mean, if we get down there and down the road and it's not working, and Mr. Shirley comes in and says, look, we're doing our own secretarial. Don't worry about the 12,000. And I can hire a full-time person for 65,000. The 12,000 and coming off of this 80 down to 65, I think we would be financially better
Right.
and we'd be covered in court all the time. And we wouldn't be having the process of paying this $1,000.
I think this is,
Can I ask you to let somebody be a full-time for 65 and no secretary, but it'd be 65 with PERS?
I think the money washes. I mean,
The money washes.
I would be favorable to that. I don't know what the rest of the guys want,
That's
but
Still getting there about
I want you
Yeah,
to
but
be
you're taking it to
successful.
12.
I want you to have the help
Still gonna be making
we got to prosecute cases.
1,000 additional, that is, other one was 20 and 7.
They don't get hurt, that's why.
$20,000 and 7.
Yeah, so if you
So he's
did,
gonna make 65.
First,
Still,
I've had a discussion.
you're gonna give him 12. Still, well, I mean, we'd still be paying them. We
Your,
would.
your total impact, budget impact for a $65,000 full-time position is gonna be in the neighborhood of $84,000. That's just to help you with
And
the
then
math.
you take off the 12 that we're sending over
Yes, sir.
there, and you're
Yes, sir.
down to 72.
Yes, sir.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would be in the same general vicinity as your two part-timers at that point.
He's-
Hi,
okay,
Well, I'm not, I'm
Same
okay
money.
with that. It's a money issue.
Same money.
I mean, it's just a wash.
May-
If you
may
think
I
you
s-
can work that, I can't hardly say, if you think you can work that,
I think the 65 per, yes,
and you, and do away with the secretary.
yes.
I would,
The person I've talked to, I've already told him that if he gets it, we're gonna do our own secretarial work, so I can make him, so he can be full-time, so he can be there 5 days a week.
Well, I mean, I'm okay with that if that's what you think you can handle from that end. Yeah.
can we have this discussion and let you interview and talk to people, and then you come back and get with Miss Laura? We can go with what we said here, the two at 20 hours with no PERS at 35,000 each with a secretary, or if it fits your office better, one at 65 with the PERS and no secretary.
I'm telling you, he's already committed to do that.
So you don't need to think about
I
it.
don't need to think about that.
Well, I'm okay with it. If you're okay with it, just won't, don't come back, in March, say, I got a secretary.
Hey, let's discuss it, and we would have to amend our motion.
Yeah, completely.
if that's what you want, it's the same money that way,
Yeah.
so, all right, I'll amend my motion for Mr. Shirley.
All right, and I'll second it.
And that's to 65,000 in PERS, no secretary, no part-time people.
90,000 salary.
I'll second it.
All right.
All right.
Daniel's
Okay.
made the motion, Jared seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Yes, sir.
All
Mr.
right.
President, if I may.
Next item was,
One item to add to the agenda is the authorization for the board president to execute the revised interlocal agreement with the municipalities with respect to assessing and collecting their ad valorem. That interlocal agreement will track and duplicate the existing interlocal agreement that exists right now between Rankin County and the municipalities. No change in the interlocal, except to add and include a termination date for the new interlocal. And the purpose behind this is to get Rankin County into compliance with the audit findings from the state auditor's office.
Motion to add that to the agenda.
Second.
All right, Bob's made a motion to add it. Jared seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's added.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, Bob makes a motion, Jared seconds to approve. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Hey, huh? Oh, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Tim,
May I bring Tim Parker up here right quick to ask for permission to add one item to the agenda? This is the NRCS project with Mill
Oh,
Creek, to authorize the advertising of that project.
I make a motion, we add that to the agenda.
Second.
All right, Bob makes a motion, Jared seconds to add it to the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes to add it.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Well, do you want to say something, Tim?
He covered it.
I
We're
All right.
ready to advertise it. We received authorization from NRCS this morning while y'all were in here and we were out there, so we're ready to
Okay.
go.
All right.
All right.
Bob made a motion,
Second.
Jared second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion approved.
Hey, let me ask y'all, we don't have to have that meeting on the second. Do we really have to do that? That's just mess up the whole holidays. It's not a statutory meeting, is it? I mean,
That's our.
just another work session.
Work meeting.
Days are you planned for that?
Bob, is a work session a meeting?
Did you hear me?
Make it
Days
whatever
are
you
planned
want, make
for
it,
that?
Danny.
what is? Well, she can
I'm not-
plan
I'm
for the
not-
next
I mean,
one.
We already
today,
have
it's
planning commission that done. Remember those 4 hearings we set this morning?
Well, that's some matter of a letter.
You
Let's
don't
just
take
screw
day
up the
off.
whole-
No, it's advertisement too.
Whole holiday.
Just pull it, Jay.
Blow it off, I did one time.
Or if, bring it on, Shelley.
Pull it off.
You
Yeah,
get
I
paid.
know.
You're not gonna- you don't get
I
paid
know,
by
not
that,
so
yeah.
one time.
I make a motion,
Cost us
recess
$2
January
million.
2nd, 2020,
Second, too.
at 9 a.m.
Did we cover everything? Seems
We
like there
damn
was
well
something
better
else we
have. It's been
discussed. that
3
we-
hours and 5 minutes.
That's it.
Damn truth.
All right, Bob made a motion to recess until January 2nd. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Daniel seconds. All in favor? Aye. We are recessed.